Hey, I'm the host. I'm the founder of Brightside, and we are here because the theme of today's conference is never lose your power. So you might have a finance situation, you might have a job situation, you might have a house situation, you might have a relationship issue, and these are kind of things that are distractions that come in our lives, and we lose our power. Now, a woman has a lot of power. We are the seductresses. We know how to seduce. We have power because we give birth. We have power because we are strong. And when we lose our power, something happens. We become very negative inward. We start losing our confidence and we start not functioning like we're supposed to. So I tasked Alyssa today to get us on track so that we know how to begin our mornings. And when we begin our mornings well, then our power, it's like a battery. And so when you give time to yourself and you give time to your body and you give time to meditation with Gila, you will learn that your power comes back. It's like you got recharged and you got kicked into action. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to your moderator, your instructor, Alyssa Spaw. Alyssa, tell us about yourself and tell us what you have in store for us today.
Yeah, definitely. So my name is Alyssa, as Elizabeth so lovely said. I actually connected with Elizabeth about a month ago. We were doing another conference where me and a few other personal trainers, coaches did a little roundtable discussion where we just talked about, the state of the health and wellness industry. And it just really it keeps coming up. It's on everybody's mind right now, especially. And I think for us as women, it's really important for us to take control of our health and to understand how some of those decisions can start to impact the rest of our day. So me at the very core, we'll get into a little bit more of that in a little bit here, but me at the core, I am a personal trainer and public speaker. Right now, I'm traveling as much as I possibly can, sometimes virtually, doing presentations on health and wellness for executives, CEOs, companies that are local to me, or even companies that have reached out to me from the other events. And I just teach them things like stress management. I also do a little component on meditation. So I'm really glad that Gila's here as well. And we talk about exercise, nutrition, water intake. We talk about sauna use and some of those other little benefits that give you that extra 5%. You're already doing the amazing stuff, but that extra 5% to help you live a longer, healthier, and happier life as well. But at the very basis, I do have a few clients. I do some independent coaching. I mostly do group presentations at this time, but I do take on a few independent coaching clients every now and then. I'm working on a 12-week coaching program where I take people through all 6 of my components and we just slowly build those habits over time. So I'm doing that beta testing. Stay tuned for that if you happen to be interested in the future. But otherwise, I want to make sure everyone else can be introduced. So Gila, do you mind telling us a little bit about you?
Of course. Thank you so much, Alyssa. I am writing empowerment coach, a spiritual heart guide. I'm a poet and an author. So I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy that Elizabeth gave me this opportunity. Happy to meet all of you today, especially on this topic of women's empowerment. It's something that actually I deal with. My specialty is working with women who've gone through chronic trauma and assisting them in healing and reclaiming their power, both emotionally, mentally, and sexually, because that is where many of us sometimes have some wounding. And the more that we can really tap into that, it just opens up into a wealth of both power and information within ourselves, the wisdom that we have within. I just wanted to share one thing before we go around, is that if anyone is interested, it's a particular topic that we're working on today, that I'm actually doing a collaborative book based on power struggle between relationships. So if anyone is interested in learning more, definitely connect with me.
Yeah, that's great. And we'll come back to her in a moment whenever she does some meditation for us. I'm excited for that. Donna, how about you?
I'm Donna Four. I've actually been with Claire for over a year now. I met her many years ago in person in North Carolina. I live in Virginia. And but when she pivoted to the Zoom format for her events, it worked out beautifully for me because I was shifting my business to Zoom as well. So think of me not as your spiritual coach, but your financial coach. I'm a 30-year Air Force veteran. I retired a few years ago, and I now help people with their finances. I work for a national company called New York Life. So I assist them with insurance, retirement plans, financial planning, long-term care coverage, just about anything in the realm of investments or retirement plans. So, and I'll be speaking a little bit about that later today. So it's great to be here, and I'm so glad Claire organized this, and looking forward to meeting all of you guys someday in person, or a one-on-one Zoom maybe. So thanks a lot.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Donna. I'm excited. I think I'm going to try to tune into yours because, I mean, being a 27, almost 28-year-old, I really need to start thinking about those things in the modern world. And I really hope there are some other young women out there like me that are on the call today as well, because I think we will really benefit from the financial conversation. So let's go ahead. I'm not sure. I know Brian is also
Exactly
in Brightside, but if he's on, he can go ahead and introduce himself if he would like to. He might be working with Elizabeth right now behind the scenes. Okay, we'll come back to you, Brian, if you're listening. Jennifer, would you like to give, or Jen, I mean, whichever you prefer, would you like to just give a quick little introduction? Just let us know, who you are, kind of what you do, because we're all about, bringing light and voice to women. So let's hear.
I'm Jen. For some reason, I always put Jennifer when I log into things. I go by either, except if you're yelling at me and say Jennifer, I'll be sad. No. So I'm a manager of a department called Cost Analysis at the Pennsylvania State University. I met Alyssa through Orange Theory at State College. I just remember I was having issues with my squats, and she was coaching one day, and I'm like, Alyssa, what am I doing wrong? And I remember her telling me that she did these coaching, wellness, and I think it's a really awesome industry to get into. I had a baby very young. I was 20 when I had my first child. And so my career life kind of took away, I think, went a different way than I probably would have chosen. Because I, at that point, had to think about, okay, am I going to be this mom that supports this little kid, or do I get to go off and do fun things? And I'm learning now, I'm going to be 35, that maybe my support system should have supported me to do things that might have been more for me than, the different route of like, well, you're a mom now, this is what you do. You don't get to do fun, not fun things, but things that make you happy. So I've kind of been on this journey, like meditation, health and wellness, therapy, to just kind of like get to figure out who I am, and figure out things that I want to do. I've been reading that book by Glennon Doyle, Untamed, and it is absolutely amazing. It's really awesome. And she just, everything in that book, I'm always like, wow, yes, that's me. I got to find my knowing. I need to, it's been in me, but I've been, through my environment and my upbringing, I've always been told you don't listen to that. And so to be around women that get that and want to push that, it's awesome. So I'm just really excited to be here.
Wow, that's wonderful. I actually didn't even really know that about you, so I'm learning that.
Yeah, we did. We didn't. I remember we had that one conversation, and then you were gone. I'm like, okay, bye.
Well, that's why it's so great. I mean, media is awesome because we are able to stay connected. And I mean, I would love to chat more because I just love hearing people's stories and how they got where they are, especially, powerful, successful women, or women like you who are taking their power back. You had that stripped of you for a really long time, and you're saying, hey, this is my time. And this is what I'm going to be able to bring to the world. And you're going to teach your children that as well, which is even more powerful. And I think that's incredible. So thank you. I'm really glad
Thank you for letting me come.
Definitely. So Brian is back. Brian,
Yes.
do you want to do a little introduction real quick?
Okay, sure. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, my name is Brian. I'm in the field of international business. So I'm a consultant for, getting companies to develop objectives and, promote profitable trade between buyers and sellers from across continents. I'm based in Mumbai, India. So yeah, so I do a lot of work with companies basically between India, Africa, and US. So help them, in market assessment or in counseling on rules and regulations, sourcing and developing products. So that's basically, so it's basically in the international business. So yeah, so I'm glad to be here, happy to hear all you wonderful women and learn something. And I'm sure that more power to women means more power to man and power to all of us. So wishing the conference of the very best. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here, Brian. And then I know there was
Welcome.
a Michelle on for just a moment, but she might have jumped off. And I see Wendell here as well. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Wendell White. Come from city of Chicago, but I now reside in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Father of 11, married for 7 years.
Wow.
Married.
Wow, 11. Congratulations.
Thank you. Married for 7 years. This is my first book. The Devil Thought He Had Me is my first of many books. And I'm just excited to be here this morning. I really appreciate the time and the opportunity and the invite from you guys. And man, I just hope to learn a lot from the ladies this morning. For having me here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so happy you're here. I mean, wow, you have a full house. I'm saying, bless you. But it sounds like you're an amazing father, and I'm really glad. I don't know how many of them are female or women. How many of your children?
I have actually I have 4 daughters. Yeah, 4 daughters and 7 sons.
Yeah, I was just wondering kind of what the dynamic was like in the house. So, are you outnumbered by 11 to 1? But
yeah, pretty well. I'm regardless with my wife. With my wife, she makes 5. So she's 3. She's 3 women by herself. So but man, I'm blessed to have them in my life. Man, they keep me grounded. They keep me looking through a different perspective every day. So I always have to be mindful, keep me mindful of women's feelings and their emotions. They voice as a woman. So they keep me grounded. So I'm grateful. Thank God for them, man. Man, I love my family, man.
yeah, wonderful. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think at this point, everyone has had the chance to introduce themselves. So we want to go on back and do some meditation. Is everyone ready for that? And then we'll kind of go from there. All right, let's do it.
Okay, so I'd love for everyone to just close their eyes, and we're just going to take 3 deep breaths. This is going to be a short meditation. So take 3 deep belly breaths from your belly and just through your nose at your own pace. I'm going to take you through a really short visualization. I just like each and every one of you to let go of any stresses of the day or of the morning that may have already passed, and to just totally be present with yourself and just to listen to my voice. So imagine that you are in any place of your choosing, the beach, the forest, the mountains, and you're completely relaxed, enjoying this space that you really consider to be a part of you really relate to. So to keep that image in your mind, wherever it is, it could be the desert, it could be anywhere. So take yourself there, imagine yourself there, and just allow yourself to completely, if you're at the beach, like just allow yourself to completely let go, lie down as if your complete body is straight, like supine against the sand, and allow the sun to Warm your face, warm your body, and just receive the energy of being completely held and supported and loved. Relax into it. Receive the blessings and the warmth. Feel at one and peace with yourself. If you have any thoughts coming up, just allow them to pass, as if the clouds are passing in the sky. Just be in the present moment. Breathe into it. Take another breath. If you're still at that beach, listen to the waves. And just listen to it as if it's a peaceful, calming sound. You're completely in the space of oneness, where nothing else exists but you in this present moment. Just allow yourself to receive that feeling. If any images are coming into your mind, let them pass. Just allow everything to just be, without judgment, without explanation, just it is. And as you are in that state, begin to just feel the wind on your skin. Get back very slowly into your house or your room or your office. Begin to slowly connect back into your present surroundings. And relish that feeling where you are completely at one with nature as you begin this conference and the rest of your day. And before we open our eyes, just take 3 more deep breaths. And as you are ready, you can open your eyes when you feel comfortable.
Feels great. Thank you so much for doing that. I think one of the most important things that I always tell people is getting outside. And I know in the winter months, it can be so very challenging to get outside because it's cold. It's not very pleasant. Depending on where you live, it may be dark. It might not be light. But meditations like that, guided meditations in that manner can be so powerful because it almost just puts you in that situation and you can be absolutely anywhere you want to be. Anywhere you want to be in the world, if you love the mountains, if you love the beach, any place that brings you joy, relaxation, centering, putting yourself in that situation can be so powerful if we don't have that opportunity to us. And it's important to recognize we don't take deep breaths, especially during the day when we are busy, we are worried about that next big contract signing, or we're worried about that next big coaching call where, no matter what it is, we're always thinking ahead. And we don't breathe, we don't fill up the space in our lungs. And bringing in your power, bringing your impact really requires you to engage every single piece of your body. And meditation is such a powerful way to bring in all of those pieces and connect with who you are and how you want to serve, how you want to bring your absolute best purpose and passion to the people that you talk to on an everyday basis. So that was absolutely, absolutely wonderful. Thank you. Now, Elizabeth, I am wondering, is Shaquita still coming? Shaquita? Yes. Oh, can you take yourself off mute? I'm sorry. There we go.
Alyssa, you're doing a fabulous job. Gila, that meditation was just what I needed. One of the things that you want to think about, and Wendell, 11 children, kudos to you. One of the things you want to think about is your morning. About a month ago, I changed the way I woke up. I found that when I woke up, I was so stressed out. I had events going on. I had things to do. But your morning is yours. And starting with a meditation can take anywhere from 3 minutes to 10 minutes. If you're a believer, thanking God for the day, just giving, that 5 minutes to be grateful. So this is really important. And Alyssa's going to show us some exercises, and then she's going to show us some nutrition. And I know we were going to show you a video for cooking, but I just didn't get it together last night. So I'm going to move to Brian telling us a little bit about hiking as a form of relaxation as well. So Alyssa, you were giving me a question, but I just interrupted because I was just overwhelmed with you gals. Yeah.
I mean, I can talk about any topic all day, every day, but I wanted to make sure that the woman talking about hemp was still coming. Because
yes, I'm going to go and find her. But in the meantime, let's go around the room and talk about how do you start your morning. Let's start with Donna, because we haven't heard Donna speak at all. Donna, are you able to tell us about your morning. How do you start your morning? Now, Donna's a colonel from the U.S. Air Force. So if anyone knows, tell us about the military. What did the military train you about the mornings? What do we need to know about mornings? Why are they so important?
Well, you get up really early in the morning and you do a lot of stuff. And by noontime, you're usually almost exhausted because you've packed, a day and a half into the first, 6 or 7 hours of the day. So, you start early, you hit the ground running, literally you go for a run. That's why my knees are destroyed. The military destroyed my knees because you run in combat boots on hard surfaces. Yeah. Anybody in the military, give them some comfortable shoes because they probably had bad feet and bad knees. So anyway, so you learn a lot of discipline. Obviously, you have to get up really early in the morning. You have to do a lot of tough jobs. I traveled the world. Most of the places I loved, some of them I didn't like. Obviously, some of those places in the Middle East where they didn't like me so much because I was in the military, because I was a woman. So, can't recommend some of those places, but most places I went to, I actually, enjoyed the mission, enjoyed working with the people. We did a lot of work, something I will share with you. The military, and I say it's military now, I'm talking about, does a lot of work that people have no idea that we do it when we're over there, working on our mission. And I'm talking about humanitarian work. Let me give you a small example of that. So we went to Central and South America to try and fight the drug war, which, we didn't really win, but, we did our best. So, but while we're down there, we're not just doing that mission, we're there digging wells. We built schools, we built roads, we gave out medical, we actually brought medical teams in there and gave free health care to the areas where we were working. And we gave out school supplies, and people have no idea that the military does it. They just think we go over there, we blow some stuff up, and we come home. No, that's not really the way we operate. Any place we go, we make it better when we leave, okay? And that includes a lot of work with the communities that we've been in to make them better, because folks, as bad as America is, you don't have to go too far in another country to find people really in dire need. So we made sure that when we left there, we made that place a better place before we exited that country. So I'm very proud of that. Here's how I start my day. So a lot of coffee to wake me up and a lot of water. A lot of people ignore hydration, but it's huge. And I'm sure that Alyssa will back me up on that. You got to drink a lot of water. And it took me a while to realize that. In fact, when I was in Central America, I got pretty ill from not drinking enough water because it was very hot, obviously. And we did some difficult physical things down there. But yeah, I start with meditation, and I start with a lot of prayer. You know, I'm a Christian, and I believe in sitting down for a few minutes and reading my Bible and just kind of centering myself in who I'm grateful for, which is the good Lord above, because he has blessed me immensely more than I deserve. So, and then I just kind of organize my calendar, start making phone calls. I have a lot of clients I check in on daily. And especially during COVID, you know, a lot of people are hunkered down at home and they're not getting out and socializing with people. So I sometimes call my clients just to check on them. I'm worried about them. You know, I haven't seen them. They're not getting out. They're not returning my phone calls. So I just try and check on those folks. And then I get busy with my appointments, and I have a lot on Zoom, and I have a lot. I'm doing a lot in person now. Virginia's opening up, so I can actually meet people in person. So that's kind of how I start the day. I get up early and stay up late, drink lots of coffee, lots of water, and I meditate, and I read my Bible, and I talk to God a lot. So anyway, thanks, Claire.
Wonderful. That's perfect. And yes, I will back you up. I mean, all of us, I know we love our coffee. Our coffee is great, but it's always good to start your day off, maybe 16 ounces of water. My recommendation for the day for most people is even around 100 ounces. And I know that seems like a lot. It's a little less than a gallon. A gallon's around 128. But you know, if there's anything that I can emphasize energy wise, just making sure that your focus is better, your body's feeling better, it is water intake. And we just forget because we drink a lot of things, but they're not always the things that hydrate us, right? So that's wonderful. I'm glad you start your day with that as well. Wendell, would you like to tell us a little bit about how you start your day? Do you have any morning routines? I'm sure you have.
Yes. Well, I start my day, I get up, God breathed life into my body. It's always about 4:30, 5 o'clock when I get up. And I start just like Donna do. I start with prayer. I get up, I start with prayer, and whatever scripture the Spirit gives me on that morning, that's what I read, and I meditate on it for about 5-10 minutes, and then I have these messages that I send out to like 300 plus gentlemen every morning, inspirational messages, because I'm a motivational speaker. So I individually send out all these messages to these men
Very good.
just to encourage them, you know, just that they are great. Try to help them bring the greatness out of them. You know, one thing that I've learned, you have to see value in yourself to add value to others. So I know that I have value, so I try to add value to other men that's out here every day that I know they're struggling. We all have a struggle. And then I go on my social media page and I leave my inspirational message for the day. And I try to do all this before my children wake up and sign into school, because a lot of them are still virtual schooling. So I try to do all this, and before they wake up at 8 o'clock, before me and my wife wake them up at 8 o'clock to get their day started. So yeah, my day start pretty early, and by 8 o'clock, man, I done did more things than the average person a day. So yeah, and that's an everyday routine for me. Monday through Sunday, and I love it, and I absolutely love it. So, and Donna, I would really like to say thank you for all your service that you bring to the world. Thank you for keeping us safe. Really appreciate it. I love to see. I have aunties that's in the military, so I understand everything that you're saying, but I really appreciate your accommodation to society. Thank you.
It just goes to show the power of great morning routine. And so many successful people, they get up, 5, 6, if not earlier in the morning, and they're already doing all of those incredibly powerful things throughout the day. And one thing that you'll always notice is that any successful person is always doing some form of meditation. It looks different for everyone. And I always want to emphasize that for people, that it looks different for everyone. Some type of meditation and something that is just sending a message out into the world, which is really, really cool. Maybe you're listening to a podcast, you're taking in a prayer, or you're listening to some kind of gospel. Well, no matter what it is, And then you're sending out all of those feelings and you're projecting all of those feelings out so that you can make other people more powerful as well. So that's really, really wonderful as well. Brian, how about you? Do you have a morning routine?
Not generally during the week, because I have a lot of meetings like here which go on till late night because of the time difference, So generally I tend to get, but on the weekend, I definitely do make a point to get up early because we have a group. So either we go on a trek, different groups. So I have a choice. So either I decide, okay, today, Saturday, I'll go for a bike ride, cycle ride, or I would go for a walk, So even during this lockdown period, I mean, we can't go too far, but I make it a point. Okay, so those days I do get up early, and I'm really happy for it because I feel like I have a head start to the day, and so I can see the sunrise, which is something really beautiful. So every day, the experience is different of sunrise. And a lot of you feel a very energetic start to the day. And here in India, where wherever we go around, so there are a lot of places, where especially if you climb even a small hill, you'll always find a temple, because people over here do build temples, at places where it's not so easy to reach, so it's an effort to go there, so you think more of God. So it's really wonderful, to be there in the morning at sunrise at these temples. I'm not particularly a Hindu, but these temples are so, meditative. You can just be there and experience, nature and God, and you're very spiritual about it. It's a very nice experience. So, so then you would hear probably the prayers and the chants, and then you you start the trek. You can see the beautiful scenery, the birds. Generally, people whom are with me are probably some are bird lovers. They know all the birds. So there are a lot of birds which you probably, if I had gone alone, I would never have observed. So I learned to be more observant of birds, of different animals. And so it's a wonderful experience. I come back very refreshed, and I feel, oh, there is so much more to nature. And then you feel you think of conservation much more. And I found that I've started observing even where I stay. If I just look out and I look up in the tree, I may see some birds which I hadn't noticed earlier, or I didn't know the name. And now I say, okay, I know it. So all this, then I do share, I take pics, I share. So people also get interested, and I realize there is such a variety of flora and fauna which we are not aware of. And so it's really opened a lot of the world to me, I mean, which is much more than just, our work and our business and our cities. And so I really like the day. And as Donna said, yes, there are points where you have to take care of equipment, so the shoes are very important. When we start, sometimes, people come with the wrong footwear, and then they really suffer the whole trek or the hike. And hydration is very important, especially here. It's a very humid climate. So it's important to go prepared, you can't just get up, so you do all your preparation the previous evening rather, and you get yourself ready. And then you can really enjoy the trek. So there are so many places to see, I mean, just in around, and I do even treks to the Himalayas, which are not far off. So and that's another experience by itself, because the high altitude and the, so it's a great experience there. And I always would advocate a good early start to the day. Definitely, though I don't follow it except on weekends, but I would love to do it every day. And I think you can you tend to do much more, when you start early, and you're prepared and you plan yourself much better. So early to bed, early to rise makes us healthy, wealthy, and wise.
That's great.
That's what I do. Thanks.
Thank you.
Mm.
that's really powerful. You know, we already mentioned the power of getting outside, but starting your day with some movement, some hydration, getting outside, observing nature, it puts us in a position that we are meant to be in, right? I mean, we have been evolving for millions of years outside just like this. And now we go from our bedroom to our computer with our glass of coffee and we start our day, and we start our day in a very reactive state. Whereas when we can get out into nature, we see how nature is living and we just immerse ourselves in that kind of environment. It makes a huge, huge difference. And like he said, you know, when you get up earlier and you start off your day in ways like that, you just cascade the rest of the day. You're like, wow, like I have so much energy. I'm ready to tackle all of these other things. And it makes a huge difference. Gila, do you have any little morning routine you want to add? And then I'll just kind of go into some, you know, nutritional and some other ways we can start our day better as well.
Sure. Yeah, I won't repeat everything that everyone said. Yeah, I have a dog, so we walk in the morning together. She wakes me up at 6 without fail, and we usually take a walk. And I do writing, so I'm an author. So as soon as I get up, there's always some phrase in my head or something that needs to come out. So I immediately write in my journal. It's been a practice I've been doing for quite a few years. And as well as the meditation and some yoga to just really move my muscles and allow, like Alyssa was saying, to just release anything that has been pent up during the night.
That's excellent. Thank you. And that's really powerful too. I'm glad you do your writing in the morning. I feel that most of us, we have all of this energy and all of these things that maybe our brain has been processing. And it's just that moment that you have the genius. So that's wonderful. As far as me, you know, I was very bad at having a morning routine for a long time. And I will 100% admit it, because I would be that person. I would wake up first thing in the morning and I'm opening my computer, I'm opening my phone, I'm reacting to my emails. And I started to recognize how much that was impacting the majority of my day. So I really tried to hone in on making a better morning routine. So I'll wake up first thing in the morning. I usually drink my water. So I'll drink one of these before I even have breakfast. This is around, 32 ounces or something. And I start my day out because I know if I save all my water for the rest of the evening, we're going to be up all night using the restroom. And I really, really value myself. So first and foremost, that first hour of waking is a very sensitive period, especially for our body. We've gone at least 8 hours fasting. We haven't had anything put into our body. We haven't had any water. We haven't had any food, no energy. So it's a very powerful way to start your day if you're putting in that hydration and helping your body start out well. And then from there, I'll eat some breakfast, which I can tell you a little bit about that. Get some movement in. I typically like to do my mobility in the morning because I know if I don't do my mobility or any of my flexibility work, I say I'm going to do it at night. It's not going to happen. So one of the things that I always tell my clients, or I tell people, is, learn yourself and learn what your body responds best to and learn where your pitfalls are. And if you know you're that person that if I save it to the end of the day, it's not going to happen, prioritize some of those things earlier. It just takes a little bit of self-awareness and understanding in the very beginning to see what it is that your body's responding to the absolute best. But another thing that I've noticed, and this can be very different for both men and women, but I know there's a ton of research out there about the way you start your day as far as breakfast, right? Because some people love to fast until lunchtime, or they have some type of routine. Other people, they wake up first thing in the morning, they need to put in some food, and that's 100% okay. But I do like to emphasize the difference between men and women as far as hormonally. When women fast for longer periods of time, it can actually be more dangerous for us because a lot of the cascading hormonal effects, our body, not necessarily in a long term, but in the very short term, if we are fasting, if we aren't putting in some good quality ingredients, whole foods into our body first thing in the morning, we tend to find that our stress hormones are higher. And there's also other hormones in the HPG axis that are going to cascade and then eventually impact our estrogen levels, our testosterone levels, and our body goes into survival mode. which means that we're not prepared for reproduction. And we're also not going to have the same amount of energy if we were to have these higher estrogen levels throughout the day. So I always like to bring light to that because men don't necessarily have that same effect. Men can fast for longer periods of time because if we think about evolutionarily, they were out, they were hunting all day long. They were using high intensity movement all day, hunting the animals. So they're fine. They are designed to be able to do that. But us as women, we were foraging. We were probably having small snacks throughout the day. And I just try to bring that evolutionary component back into it so that we recognize how powerful it is to start out the day with the right foods. So that might have you wondering, what are the right foods? And it comes down to the individual a little bit. And that's a little frustrating, I know, because if you talk to any professional, they're going to say, well, it depends. And especially when it comes to women, you'll notice this too. Our cravings and our food will change very, very drastically throughout the course of the month or our cycle. And it's important to recognize that sometimes we're going to be craving higher carbohydrate foods. And when I say higher carbohydrate foods, I'm not necessarily talking about the processed, but I'm talking about things like oats or quinoa or potatoes or fruit, all of those whole food sources. And then there's going to be other times where maybe our hormones need a little bit of a boost and we're craving the fattier foods. So think things like eggs and yogurt, like full fat yogurt, full fat dairy, other kinds of breakfast foods, steak and eggs. And it's okay to have those fluctuations throughout the month, but just becoming in tune with what your body is saying so that the foods that you put into your body first thing in the morning can be a little bit more powerful for you and can help set you up for the day. So originally, when we started this morning, I was going to have I just wanted everyone to grab breakfast. So if you didn't grab breakfast, hopefully you feel comfortable grabbing some breakfast because I do think that it will help give you the energy. And when it comes down to empowering yourself, giving yourself that power, those foods that you choose are really important. So I think I wasn't sure if we were going to have a lot of business owners on the call or if we were just going to kind of come from various backgrounds, but especially what I've noticed as women in business is we forget to take care of ourselves when we're really passionate about taking care of other people. We might have that coaching call first thing in the morning and we say, hey, I need to get to this coaching call. I don't have enough time to do all of these other things. But if you set that little hour aside to say, hey, I just need to get myself some good quality foods. I need to get myself some meditation, some movement, no matter what that looks like, you are going to be in a better position for that very first call. And it is guaranteed. Try it for 2-3 days, just see how it feels, and then go from there. One thing that I always tell people is that if we control the input, the output takes care of itself, right? If we control what we're putting into our body, naturally, our body is going to give us the output that we desire. And that truly comes from putting in the good quality foods. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about what I like to do. So I typically have similar breakfasts, and this makes it easy for me because I know that if I try to change things too much, it can become overwhelming. And I, might not have enough time to try a new fancy recipe every single day. But I find that in habit creation, changing those behaviors, finding the things that are super easy for us. Mine are, an oatmeal, which is packed with, protein, healthy fats. We have a little bit of the carbohydrates and fiber and nutrients, vitamins and minerals, all those things. I put in fruit most of the time. And that's one of my staple items. I know it's quick, it's easy, I can make it in the morning, and that's good to go. Another one then is also just eggs. So if you make whole eggs, I highly recommend pastured or free range. Just from a nutrient standpoint, we're going to find that we're getting a lot more of those nutrients designed to raise a healthy chicken in those eggs. Throw in some veggies, throw in some grapefruit, and it doesn't matter what fruit, it doesn't matter what vegetables, because if you enjoy them, it's going to make you more likely to eat them. And I just emphasize the point that it's about finding what's enjoyable for you. It's not about finding a perfect meal plan and sticking to it if you don't feel like it's what you're going to be able to do tomorrow, a week, a year from now. It's finding those things that work best for you and then continuing to go from there. Another thing that I want to leave you with is the power of the foods that you eat first thing in the morning can control the way you feel the rest of the day. I mentioned this, but what I find for most people is we get so busy during the day that we forget to eat. I don't know, does anyone ever feel like that? Sometimes you're so busy and you just you're like, no, I know, me either. I'm like, I need my food. I know when I need that food. These little slumps throughout the day. And what I tend to see is the slumps are either related to the types of foods that we're eating or caffeine. And I just want to bring awareness and have you be mindful of those things and recognize that if you're eating the whole foods, if you're eating good quality foods, they're not going to spike your blood sugar in the same way. And you don't have the same slumps that you would otherwise. And I know I can say this, and I might be preaching to the choir, but if you start to pay attention to those small shifts in your body, if you try it for a week, just try for a week, say, hey, I'm going to try to eat whole foods. I'm going to take out the processed foods, nothing packaged, just whole quality, single ingredient foods. Let me know how your body feels. Let me know how your body feels. And I'm sure many of us in the room here can probably say that we can feel a difference when we control that input and what it is that's going out of our body. And we can feel a difference when we get movement in first thing in the morning versus when we don't. Whether it be mentality, whether it be our physical body, we can feel a difference if we just pay attention to it. But we have distractions. We have many other things in today's society that are pulling our attention away from what's actually in here. And it's pulling our power away from us. These devices, I mean, I don't know how many of you watch The Social Dilemma, but these devices are stealing our power. They are pulling ourselves away from what we should be in tune with and what we should be in tune with that's outside, what we have been doing for millions of years outside.
Okay. And let me step in for a minute, Alyssa. I mean, we're running on a time program, and give her some credit, Alyssa. Oh my goodness, you're amazing. You're a powerhouse. I want to take this time before we get into the program of things. I thank you all for showing up this morning. Thank you for being here, and I thank you all for what God is yielding for you in your life. And I want to take a moment, first and foremost, your responses about what you do in the morning. I found them to be, a couple of things. I said, maybe I need to incorporate that into my regime. But, and a couple of, amazing. Wendell, what a great asset. I mean, because when you reach out to other people and do things for them and call them and those kind of things, and early in the morning, people get to rely on them. And they make them a part of their asset day. As a point, though, and the point of this conference is never lose your power. Never lose your power. Your power and what that represents for you is enormous. And so there's a process, and I want to share it with you, of going out and coming in. Going out and coming in, because we're both authors and we're receivers. We're authors and we're receivers. So when you're projecting out for the course of the day, what you expect to happen, you have to be the author. You have to write your destiny. You have to write your expectations. And you put that in plain context. But you also have to listen. You have to listen because God is telling you things, and he's wanting you to hear what he has and suggest for you. So your day, how you started, what you implement, what you execute, they're very important for you to get out of your day what you want. I'm now transferring my hat from technical to, precipitator, but the point of reference means that, you also have to be tenacious. You have to be tenacious. That means that you have to, sometimes the day is not going to be so cooperative. So you have to decide that this is what I expect to happen. This is what I'm going to make happen. And this is what I won't take. I won't take anything short of this. This is what I demand. And so I hope this comes and lands on solid ground for you, because I'm telling you, just when you're out there doing so many things, there are a lot of negative vibes out there, negative people, negative suggestions, And you have to decide what you're going to kick to the curb, what you'll listen to, and what you'll decide just run over. I have to just run over that. I'm just not willing to accept that one. No, come back with something else. So I want to take just these ordinary minutes, and I wanted to put that in the context to help you understand that God made us the authors. We can write our destiny, our legacy, our context, and don't think for a minute that you don't have that capacity. If you can, my father used to always tell me, if you can look up, you can get up, and you can decide, this is what I want. This is what I want, and this is what I am destined to have. And so I want to encourage you that way as we shift now. Wow, what an amazing segment, Alyssa. I have to give you full credit. I mean, in the form of silencing ourselves, quieting ourselves, and coming to a context of what I need, expect, and want to have happen. So if you start the day in this framework, in a state of mind, now many of you might like jumping right into your day. You jump right into it. It's like jumping into the pool. I mean, everything requires some preparation. Some preparation. You have to decide, this is what I would like to happen. This is what I'm planning to happen. Because, Donna, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So we have to think in terms of order, process, understanding, and those kind of things. And then when you'll find that when you deal with people that way, when they understand that I'm working a process here, and the process is methodical, and it's ordered, and it has context, but at the end of the day, the result will be amazing, So when you remember now, you're an author and a recipient. So that means when you're writing in your journal, you write what you expect to happen. Really, this is what I expect to happen. It's like going to court. Really, you go to court and you don't have an expectation of what can happen. Now I know you're subject to, but you still need an expectation. So the day is yours. God giving you the day, and there were people that don't have a day, any more days. So I encourage you to think over these things, and this was an amazing time in sector. And I just want to leave you with a couple of more things, and then we'll prepare for our next sector. Now, each of you, I'm proud of you. You've come a long way. And the years may not have been friendly. They may have been friendly, but we're courting favor. If you're courting favor, raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're courting favor. If you're courting favor, No, come on now. We have to court favor. When you get God's favor, that's like green lights, like 25 green lights in a row. 25 green lights because you're courting His favor and you're thinking about what can happen in your best interest. So I want you to make sure that, in the course of your day, put that in front of you. Green lights, Lord. I mean, even if you say, I need green lights. I need green lights. Okay, can you give me green lights? So that I need you to think on those things and never lose your power in the context that we don't deal in the realm of persecutions. We don't deal in the realm of suppression. We don't deal in the realm of racism. We don't deal in the realm of any of those matters that way, and harassment. We deal in the realm of liberty and favor, and courting people around you that way, and bringing them to a context of green lights. And even if today, during the course of your day, and if you call 3 friends during the course of your day and just say, I'm praying that you have green lights today. They think that just pretty crazy. I'm praying that God gives you green lights today. And I want to surround you with that. I want to surround you with that and green lights. So just know that and feel the energy. Feel the energy of that. Because if somebody were to call you and tell you that, you know, in your mind, you're saying, wow, never thought about that. I'm liking that. I'm liking that, you know, and it's kind of like the Starbucks chain where somebody told me, not just locally recently, that somebody bought, you know, the Starbucks coffee that they drank, and then they bought the Starbucks for the person behind them. And that process lasted all day. You show up at Starbucks, somebody already paid your coffee. You show up at Starbucks, somebody already paid your coffee. You know, I mean, that green light thing, you know, the energy of that is enormous and amazing. So I need you to feel that energy. I need you to feel that power. I need you to feel the capacity for your green lights. I need you to be convinced that I'm in the middle of this and I'm so excited. You know, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for you. I want you to feel that excitement. I want you to feel that, you know, you're special. Each one of you are special. You're special. You know, when you were born, God put a particular destiny on you, and he wants great things for you. And we do too. So bright side, green lights. Okay. So we're gonna shift our segments here, and I'm gonna bring our guest host presenter today for the 9 o'clock hour, and you know her as Elizabeth Claire Brewington. I know her as Claire. She's my wife, but she's got a lot to share with you. And so now, if you like this first sector or segment, thank you, Alyssa. You're top shelf. You know, I love your energy. You know, your vibe. She's all about energy, diet, and oh gosh, I mean, your class must be amazing. How do we sign up? You need a podcast, a blog, or something. Yeah. But we'll talk more about that. Coming now is Claire. She's gonna share. Let me shift one thing here, and then she'll come back, and the next one she'll hear her.
Thank you so much, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I am an open book. I am always open to questions. I always want to help you. So thank you so much, Elizabeth, for letting me be here. I hope all of you guys learn lots and lots more today. I'm excited to be listening in, and I'm also going to be eating my breakfast, so don't mind me.
but Alyssa, tell us, before you go, tell us how we can get a session with you. How can we book you as our trainer or fitness coach or nutritionist?
Absolutely. So one of the easiest ways to connect with me is just my first and last name. So my first and last name are right here on the screen now at gmail.com. Just send me a message. I am offering free 15-minute strategy calls. So if you heard anything today, if you have more questions, you're like, I just don't know what's best for me, you know, and sometimes finding that routine it helps to have someone else saying, hey, this is something that we can try. We'll just continue trying until we find exactly what works for you. So let me know. You can send me an email, alyssaSpaw@gmail.com, Instagram at ADSpaw. So A as in apple, D as in dog, SPAW. That is my easy, straight to the point Instagram handle. You guys can connect with me there. So I hope to connect with you more. Thank you.
And put it in the chat and then go and have a lovely breakfast because yes, we need you to come back. So yes. Thank you, Alyssa. Yes. Okay, great. So our next presenter is a woman that I just met, and she's a powerhouse when you think about losing power. And this group is about business and jobs and opportunity. And this is what we do. So if anybody in this group is looking for a job or looking for a business or looking for an opportunity, put it in the chat. A lot of you don't know. So if you don't mind giving us your email, please put your contact information in the chat. And that way we can put you on our mailing list and keep you posted on what's going on. During the day, I'm going to find a link to my website, but I'll put the link. And if you can go to the contact, if you don't want to, give everyone in the group your email, it's private. And if I know you and I know your email, you don't have to give me your email again. But if you don't want to share it in a public forum, then just go to my website, click on contact, and fill out the form, and I'll get your contact information that way as well. So make sure that I have your contact information. If you feel comfortable with sharing it, put it in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to leave my link and you can go to the contact page. So this entire day, you're going to meet a lot of business owners. You're going to learn a lot about new products. Now, some of them you might want to buy, and you can just go directly, each vendor and book author and artist is going to share their link and tell you about what they are showing you today. So if you like anything, then just go and buy it. If you can't buy anything because for whatever reason, refer someone. You might know somebody that might be interested in the product. This is all about referrals. If each of us refer, we are how many? 11. If each of us refer one person, that would be 11 people. So think about the power that you have. Networking is all about getting to know each other and helping one another. So 1, you can buy. 2, you can refer business. 3, you can show encouragement. You can go to people's Facebook page and say, hey, I saw your presentation. It was fantastic. Like for Alyssa, I think everybody needs to go on her Instagram and write a comment. Alyssa, you were fabulous. So if you don't want to buy, you don't know anybody, you don't want to do anything, at least go on their Instagram pages, Facebook pages, write a comment, come to my page, write a comment about the conference that you enjoyed. And just be of encouragement to each other, you know, put something in the chat that's encouraging, you know. So the presenter has taken time to present today, so they will feel encouraged. Help them, congratulate them for being in business, so that they feel encouraged to continue on in business, because we all want to make a support network. So there's several ways that you could be helping one another all through the conference and never losing your power. In fact, gaining power, gaining people, getting to know more people, and getting ahead. So without further ado, I have a woman, a business owner, and somebody who's going to teach you about something that's very new in the market. A lot of us don't know anything about it. It's CBD and it's hemp. So I want to bring Shaquita on, and I'm going to, we're gonna need a minute because I'm gonna have to find her website. So Shaquita, can you put your website in the chat so I can open your website when you're ready? But before that, I'm gonna let you speak. But make sure you put your website in the chat if you can. Otherwise, I'm gonna bring you on and you can tell me what it is. All right. So we're gonna need a little logistics right now. Okay. All right.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey.
Good morning. My name is Shaquita Love. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I am a nurse. I'm a holistic practitioner, and I am the CEO of Love Drug Products. This is March, and this is Women's History Month. I just want to bring you guys up to part with some history of mine. Last March of last year, I lost my job due to COVID, and I also lost my father-in-law due to COVID. This was an issue due to the US. They didn't know what laws and regulations, so I ended up getting laid off, and I'm grieving. So throughout this whole pandemic, I wanted to kind of find a solution to deal with my anxiety, pain, and post-COVID PTSD. One major thing that I really wanted to focus on was pain, because this is chronic pain is one thing that a lot of people in the US deals with. And with chronic pain, the opioid epidemic is one major tackle that we have to deal with in the US. So throughout me just learning, I stumbled upon CBD, and I have been a loyal customer since June of last year. So Love Drug Products. So, oh my goodness, it's amazing. CBD is a game changer. CBD is a power super oil, and it provides so many medicinal benefits. Now, one major thing that sparks controversy is CBD comes from the hemp plant, just like THC. But CBD, like other cannabinoids, it provides medicinal benefits to help provide wellness for the mind, body, and soul. And I've been using it. Family members been using it, and I've had great testimonials. My dad, 5 years ago, he had a really bad accident on the job in which he ended up losing an arm and leg. He's a double amputee, and he ended up relocating from Illinois to Vegas. But one thing that he deals with is chronic pain. And one major thing that he deals with is he does not want to be addicted to pain pills. So with my discovery throughout this pandemic, I really, like, he was kind of like my test guinea pig in a sense, but because he does not like pain pills, I found some gummy bears that he likes. And I had him give it a try. 3 weeks later, he called me again. Hey, and they call me Annie. Hey, Annie, could you help me get on your website and find out how to order 2 more packs? They are great. Me and my wife love them. So just with that one powerful case study, to me, I see the impact of CBD and how it can really affect your overall wellness and well-being in a non-threatening, non-habit forming way, in like a natural way. So I'm in love with CBD. Like, I use the oils in the morning, and for my women's spa days, I have these amazing bath bombs. That's amazing. So with CBD, I kind of want to inform and advocate first about CBD. I really don't want to push CBD on people due to the stigma and like laws being changed. But CBD, there are 3 major forms of CBD: the isolate, the broad spectrum, and the full spectrum. Full spectrum has little terpenes that can have traces of THC in it. Broad spectrum has CBD and other great vitamins in it. And the isolate has full CBD. So you'll get nothing but CBD. And now with professionals and people that kind of want to try it first, I would recommend everybody to talk to a professional and, get informed before you just hop on a site and buy. Because with CBD, you want to make sure that all of the products are third-party lab tested. And with me, I partner up with 4 major brands, and I've tried all the products. They're all tested. They have a seal of authenticity, because with CBD, it's not regulated by the FDA. So you really have to know where you're getting the CBD from, how it's extracted, the distributors, and things of that sort. So it's really good to, just get the information. But as it relates to women's health and wellness, CBD has amazing benefits. It helps boost the libido, like with sex. It helps balance your mood. It helps eases anxiety. It helps with sleep. It helps with hormone imbalance as well. It's just amazing. CBD also helps with pain. And CBD is like, it's one major thing, but it's like a super oil. And it comes in capsules, it comes in suppositories, oils, creams, everything. It just, due to what you want to get out of it, that's how you can go about getting it. So with skincare, CBD is perfect for skincare. It has anti-inflammatory. It helps with eczema. It helps with acne. It helps with paralysis. And it helps just give you a nice, youthful glow. I offer this amazing toner on my site that I use. So it helps with skincare. And also for the month of March, I have been offering an amazing promo deal. I have 20% off my whole site. All you have to do is put in my promo code LoveDrug20 when you check out, and you can get 20% off the whole site. Yeah, so CBD, I've lost my power throughout this year, but I've also gained it with discovering this amazing phenomenon, learning about myself, and now spreading the word and trying to get more people on board with promoting wellness for the mind, body, and soul. So yeah, my love is your drug. LoveDrugProducts.com. Now I'm going to open up the floor for any questions. I'm not sure if I can. CBD is amazing. It has changed my life. So some amazing drops that I use in the morning. I use it's called Focus. So it's made by Hemp. And as it relates to CBD, it's really good to get informed before you just start using it. So CBD, it has terpenes in it, and terpenes are like vitamins, if you can think about it in a sense. And our body, we have vitamins. We already have like ecocannabinoids in our bodies. Now, what these terpenes do is they attach to receptors in our bodies, in our chemical bodies. And with the Focus, I have certain terpenes to connect, and it actually activates within my body, and I feel more focused and relaxed. So I've been taking these drops for over a month, and they are amazing. I'm a person that likes to do 3 or 4 jobs at one time. I'm a nurse. I act as well. I'm a background actress. I'm a CEO. I just do so many things. So with that being said, I need a supplement to help me kind of stay on task, help me with a to-do list, help me complete tasks. And with me taking these amazing drops, the Focus made by Hemp, I have been doing so much better as a business person. I'm more on task, I'm focused, I'm completing tasks on time, and I'm able to just grow my business more better. It makes me feel so much better too. I'm usually a little bit more agitated. Now my days are peaceful and selling. So yeah, so that's CBD. Just wanted to give you guys a little insight on CBD and the great benefits that it has. You guys have any questions?
Hey,
I have a
it's
question.
Donna.
Yeah,
Okay, I couldn't hear you at first. I'm sorry.
go ahead, Donna.
So, does it help with people who have sleep problems?
Yes, so that is one of the major problems that it helps with. It helps promote sleep. It helps promote wellness. It helps reduces anxiety. So with sleep, I have this amazing oil that I use as well. It's offered on my site, made by Hemp. It's called Relax Drops. So it helps relaxes you. Me personally, I would like to sit and have a consultation with you and see what's your root of sleep first. It could be anything. It could be insomnia, it could be chronic pain, it could be your own mental mood disorders, or anything like that. I don't want to push a product on you first, but the oils really helps with sleep. I would like to possibly talk to you a good 10 minutes off of this site, just to make sure. But yeah, I use the drops, and I use it in the afternoon, not afternoon, in the evening, maybe an hour before I go to sleep. I ingest it in my mouth, some people, it's different ways to get CBD. You don't have to use it in your mouth, but that's the best way for me. It just relaxes you. The gummy bears works wonders. So if you do not want to taste the nasty, harsh, you know, CBD flavors, I would highly recommend you getting the gummy bears. They are so yummy, they relax you, and they promote sleep. They really promote.
Yeah, and I think that story that you told us about the gummy bears for your father or your father-in-law was amazing. Yeah. So thank you so much for that presentation. My question is there any state in the United States that the product is not available?
Well, I ship in all 50 countries, all states, according to all the laws right now, because I'm taking courses in CBD specialization with the University of Colorado in Boulder. But due to everything, all states can get CBD, okay? All states cannot get THC.
Okay.
So I can ship in all 50 states, including Puerto Rico and Hawaii.
Okay. Wow. So there you go. It's available everywhere. It's legal. It's safe. I don't know about safe. They're still doing FDA trials. You might want to check on the research on that. But if you're willing to risk it and you want to try something new, then go to Shaquita's. Her name is Love, which is interesting. So it's an easy name. What is your website, Shaquita?
All right, so my website is lovedrugproducts.com.
Yep. Okay. Lovedrugproducts.com. So
Yes,
make sure you give that to us in the chat, and she's going to be with us all day. So feel free to reach out to her, and I think what she said was really important. She's not out there to push anything on you. She's going to see what would be the best thing that could help you. So I love that. I don't like people pushing things on me. So thank you for saying that. And we'll bring you back with more.
Okay,
So in the meantime, I want to quickly tell you what to expect from the day today. And any more questions for Shaquita before I get to the next part of the agenda? My computer's doing funny things. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to, because sometimes when you do too much Zooming, computers can act funny. Donna, were you going to send me some slides?